Yeah, obviously good road win. Me and Bake talked a bunch last week, and he's been there more than I've been there. But tough place to win games. Tough place to play. They had a good crowd. I mean, they had a really good crowd. I think. Again, we played at Nippert on 40,000 and played Miami, Florida, so it wasn't, it wasn't like intimidating like those places are, but it was still a good crowd, a good road environment, good for our kids. Good trip, and very, very good victory. We've talked all year about how, you know, good teams can win all styles of games, and if you can't handle different styles of games, we still go back to Miami, Florida, where we don't think we handled the situation very good, and how the game started to unfold, and getting frazzled, and doing things that we shouldn't do to try to win a game. And we've been better, much better since then. I thought we did that Saturday as our first kind of lower, close to the best game we've played. We played more high-scoring games for whatever reason. Defense took care of business, start to finish. They gave that first drive. I think that the key of the game was holding a field goal on the first drive, not getting them any momentum. They had a nice drive and kicked a field goal, but they didn't get out 7-0. Offense had some chance early. We had a chance, to Reggie early, almost connected. Wasn't terrible by us on execution, just didn't quite connect on a long one. Then Thornton the fake punt, Woolard and Kuwatch getting it done on their fake punt. Obviously, created a short field. We didn't take advantage of that. Got 3. But then after that, the offense kind of got in a little better rhythm, put together a couple drives in the second quarter. So you have a 13-3 lead at halftime. You really feel like the defense is really controlling the game like we hoped, and in particular our defensive front 7. Thought, again, where our advantage lied, up front. We always talk about that's probably our most talented group of players, our D-line, and they really showed up Saturday. And then really good third quarter after the first play. Got a penalty called back, a big play. We took a bad angle and ran into each other, looked like the Keystone Cops. But after that, defense continued to do what they did. Offense put together a really nice drive for a field goal, took a bunch of time off the clock. We got another stop. Offense went on another long drive, punched it in, and then that's kind of the game. And you look up, there's like 30 seconds left in the third quarter. We each had 2 possessions. The lead went from 13-3 to 23-3, and then it was just kind of like, okay, let's just manage the rest of the game. Let's get out of here at the victory. The only way we'll lose this is if we do something stupid. No need to push the envelope, and finished it out in a very kind of boring 23-3 game compared to particularly games we've played have been pretty exciting. And again, if defense plays really good, the game tends to be less interesting. And their defense, I thought, played well. I thought our defense played exceptional. Special teams was good again. Nothing spectacular again, but Bev continues to flip the field when we need the field flipped. And we make every kick. So most teams would think that's spectacular. It's the norm for Graham. It's the norm for Bev. So that's kind of what we expect. We expect to punt the ball good. We expect to kick the ball good. Graham was good on kickoff. So I thought Cade stepped in nice for Gage on punt returns, and did a really nice job. A lot of short punts, got him caught. Not a lot of return opportunities, but saved a lot. You don't notice them until you let one hit the ground and it rolls for 30 yards. Then it's like how important getting the ball caught is. And I thought Cade did a really nice job. Obviously with Gage trying to get ready to play, couldn't quite get ready. He was close. So that'll be the same thing this week, just trying to get him, ready. I mean, he wanted to play last week. He was not ready. I think he knew he wasn't ready. If we would have let him play, he would have played. But sometimes you gotta trust, the medical people to take care of the kid, which our medical people always do. So he'll be pushed, get ready. But nice to see other receivers step up. Cade McDonald, had a nice game. First time he really got significant action. Shows some of the things he can do. Obviously, Joe Wilkins made some plays. Other receivers stepped up. So it's good in his absence. You're down your top tight end, your top wide out, and you still get a lot of stuff done. So, again, it takes a lot of guys, as we know. It's going to be a long year. We're going to have other guys out. We're going to get guys back, and we're going to get other guys out. You just got to keep plodding away. And so it was a very, very, very good road win, very workmanlike, very professional, very boring, but we'll take it every time. We'll take a 20-point victory on the road where we're basically milking the clock the whole fourth quarter, that's fine by us. So.
You lost Cold Iron in the first week. How much has that crimped the offense's style? I mean, with some of the defenses you're playing, do you feel like you'd like to have a threat down the middle or something like that?
Yeah, we've went to more 4 wideout sets, so in those sets we've got a really good threat down the middle because our wideouts are pretty. So we just lean more on our wide receivers. Saturday we played some 2 tight. Saturday we played the 1 tight. It'll be week to week, but we still feel like we have some tight ends that can stretch the field, and we can certainly use our wideouts to stretch the field.
Are there any other injury concerns coming out of that game?
No, we came out of that one pretty good. There's standard going into week 6. A lot of guys beat up, but came out of it pretty good.
Coach, any idea what their thought process was on that fake punt?
Yeah, obviously one, they think they had a good look and could get it. That was you don't fake a punt on your own 20. 2, new coach. They've had a very tough non-league schedule. You're at your conference opener, probably trying to make a big play early. You know what I mean? Like thinking we're going to have to do something like that to win the game. And not unlike what our mindset we went to Cincinnati to, we're going to take some chances. You know what I mean? And we're going to do some things that maybe if we thought it was a completely level playing field, we were going to do. So a lot of times you do something like that when you think, hey, there's got to be like I talked all week Cincinnati, we got to make a game-changing special teams play. They're trying to make a game-changing play. So that's probably what I assume their thought process was.
Saw Bowling Green beat Georgia Tech last week, beat the spread by over 30 points. Does that change anything about what you think of them going into this game this week?
No, because just like we talked last week, we get so caught up in this MAC non-conference, and again, it was another great win for our league. Obviously, Bowling Green, you're a 21-point underdog. Georgia Tech had been playing good football. They're a 21-point underdog. You go down there, you spot them 14-0. Georgia Tech scored for 6 plays in the game. It's 14-0. Georgia Tech scored on the first play, got a stop. 5-play, 80-yard drive. They had 6 plays, 126 yards of offense, and they're up 14-0 at home, and you're 14. Now the route is on, right? That was our Miami, Florida game. They jumped on us early, and then it's just over, And then Bowling Green, absolutely offense, defense, especially dominated the rest of the game. 38 straight points. And they scored 38 straight points, and they dominated them on defense. They dominated them on offense. They dominated especially. It's hard to outscore somebody at 38 straight points, let alone a MAC team going into ACC country against a team that's 2-1 and playing good football. So it was obviously a great win for Bowling Green. I think that's the 4th. We got 4 Power 5 wins the league now, I think. OU beat Iowa State the same day we beat Cincinnati, and then this one, I thought there was one more, but 3 or 4. It's, again, another good win for our league, and especially in this day and age, what we're up against and the quality of players in this league, the quality of coaches in this league. And again, those are 21-point underdog ACC, and your kids got to play really well and you got to coach really well. You have to have a great week to make those things happen. But they made it look pretty easy. They were up 38-17 in the fourth quarter and playing prevent defense the last quarter. So it was obviously a great win. But no, I know they're good. They had great chance against Liberty. They made a couple mistakes against Liberty that I'm sure they'd like to have back, and they had a couple calls really go against them at Liberty, which happens at times, but there was some critical calls, and Liberty's a really good football team and really talented, and they ended up losing by 7, and there's definitely was a great opportunity. That would have been a great obviously victory at Liberty. And then they held Michigan, look at the Michigan stats. They're pretty salty on defense. They held Michigan 304 yards. So Michigan been averaging about 650 against Ohio State the last 2 years in offense. I'm saying, we're talking about Michigan. We're not talking about, they held a Big Ten. If you held any Big Ten team to 304 yards, it's an insane. If we're talking about a team that was a Final Four team and have one of the best running attacks, one of the best quarterbacks, and electric wideouts, they held them to 304 yards for the game. So I knew they were good before they went down and kicked Georgia Tech. They beat us last year, 17-13 at their place. They had a good MAC season last year. They're one of many talented MAC football teams. Again, we look at regular, they were 1-3 going in, okay. In the OU games, deceiving. OU's defense is tremendous, and we know OU's offense has always been really good. But OU's defense, it was 31-0 at half. OU's defense got a turnover early. they punched in for 7, then they got 2 more scores on defense in the first half, and that game was 31-0 at half, and 3 of the 4 touchdowns. Two OU's defense scored on a pick and a scoop and score, and then 1 they got a short field and scored on a 2-play drive. So that game statistically was not look like the score. So everybody saw that score. Now they must be no good. Okay, well, they're a MAC team, and you look at the league last week. Okay, week 1. Okay, Buffalo beats Akron 13-10 in overtime. Okay, I didn't know who was going to win that game, but I'm not surprised it was close. And Toledo's a giant favorite over Northern Illinois because Toledo's the defending MAC champs, and Northern Illinois, where they win 2 MAC games last year or something like that, and won 3 games overall, and it's at Toledo, and I don't know if it was at Toledo. Maybe it was at Northern. Was that Toledo? Yeah. And it's 35-32, and Northern Illinois got the ball at the 48 with 10 seconds left with a chance to try to either complete one real quick and kick a long field goal to tie it or throw a Hail Mary, and again. And everybody's shocked about that other than coaches in the MAC. We're not shocked. Toledo's thinking it was a really good win. We got to win on our half. Was it probably as pretty as we like? Could have we put them away? Yes, but a win's a win, and you just get them and you move on and you take them any way you can get them.
There were a lot of sacks by both teams Saturday. Most of Kent State's came in like a little flurry there altogether. Was there anything they changed up to all of a sudden be able to get to the quarterback or what? Yeah,
they're good up front for one, so we knew that going in, and then they pressured a decent amount, probably a little more than they normally do, but they pressured more. We did not protect as good. We've been protecting really good, and at times Saturday we protected really good. We did not protect as good as a group, but also there was times that we protected fine. A couple of sacks, we had receivers not getting from point A to point B on a timely fashion, and again, so everybody sees sacks and thinks, oh, line. Sometimes if you don't run the route right or run the route fast enough, or if you get jammed up, or if you get rerouted and you get whatever off kilter and the quarterback's ready to throw it, which happened a couple times, he went to throw it and we weren't where we were supposed to be, and then all of a sudden now it's that extra second and now it's over. So it was a combination. Our execution, we were not as efficient as we got to be in the passing game. We weren't as efficient as we want to be in the run game. We were efficient at times in both areas. We did some nice things in both areas, but we weren't, and a lot of it has to do with Kent. We knew Kent going in was pretty good on defense. And some of it definitely goes credit to Kent, but that's not how we look at it. We look at it, we got to be better.
At this point in the season, like halfway through, what are your biggest concerns and what are your most pleasant surprises about this team at this point?
The biggest concern is always the same. It's not really about this team. It's just, can you just stay focused 1 week at a time, worry about Bowling Green, not worry about being 4-1 or 1-0 or a home game or a road game or what they beat you last year or you beat them last year or they played really good last week or they played really bad last week. That's for fans and media to chase last week, which they love to do.
Don't blame us.
Yes. Oh, no, you chased last week like the rest. Whatever happened last week is going to happen this week. Well, mind-blowing to me because I actually pay attention to sports, and that's never the case. And then I always hear, I can't believe it, I can't believe it, I can't believe it, I can't believe it, I can't believe it. You've been saying that every second of your life in sports. Like, you're here and then you're here. It's like, so just trying to get our kids to continue to focus, like every coach in America is trying to just say, hey, it's Bowling Green and this is all that matters. They took us down last year at their place in a really hard-fought game, 17-13, went right down the wire. So not worried about where we sit or just go play and try to find a way to win a football game. If you do that, we'll take inventory at the end of the year. So pleasant surprise. I don't know. I don't know that I have high expectations for our guys. Our guys are awesome. They compete. They prepare. Like, I think they out-prepare everybody in the country. I think today's their off day. They'll do more football stuff on their off day than most people do on their off day. But that's the norm. I'm proud of them for that. I'm proud of our coaches that have created that. They've competed really hard. Even the Miami, Florida debacle, how we bounced back very quickly from that, and we were very disappointed that day. And then, they fought through UMass. They certainly fought through Cincinnati. They took care of business the last 2 weeks. So I don't know that I expect them to do things the right way all the time and fight and scratch and claw together all the time. They've been doing it. So we just got to stay on that thing and keep. Like I said, I don't think we beat everyone, but when we play that way, we're a tough team to beat. We proved that. We're 35-16 now, our last 51 MAC games. You know, that's, and of the 16 losses, there's not a lot of blowouts in there. And I mean, we've had a few that didn't end up going our way, but we've proven that we're a team in this league that we can beat anyone. We can certainly lose to anyone. We've proved that too. We've had some losses against teams that we should have on paper beat that year, but that's our league. We understand that. But when we come fight and play together, we're a team that you're gonna have to play pretty good to beat.